We play and call it work.
Hey folks, Janene from MiniWarGaming here with another how-to video for ya. In this video, we're going to continue painting this High Exemplar Kreoss mini, and we are going to do all of the metallics. As always, if you have suggestions for something you'd like to see in a future how-to video, please leave it down below in the comments. Now this mini has a lot of metallic areas, and there's two main colors. We're going to do a brown metallic and a silver metallic. The brown one we're going to keep closer to a dark copper or a dark gold color. Our first step is going to be to paint the base coat of these two different metallic colors. We're going to begin with the dark gold, and we're going to base coat all of those areas in Warplock Bronze. We're going to mix just a little bit of Lamy and Medium into our paint to make sure that it doesn't go on too thick. And I'm just going to carefully paint this on top of all of the layers that I want to have that dark gold metallic color. So for this model, I'm going to paint the fingers on the hand. I'm going to paint the ends of each of the staff. As for the head of the flail, we want to paint the main sphere, the dark gold color, and all of the spikes protruding from it are going to be silver. We're going to paint the very end of the two smokestacks on the back of his armor, as well as there's two riveted armor plates that are right underneath the main shoulder pad. We're going to paint those this gold color. There's also a spiked elbow pad that we're going to paint gold, and the face mask as well. This is a really dark metallic color. It's going to go over the white really well. However, we want to make sure that we apply it in two thin layers as opposed to doing one thick layer. This is going to give us a little bit more control and make sure that we don't get the paint too gloopy anywhere and lose any of the details. Alright, once we've base coated everything with that Warplock Bronze color, we're going to block out all of our silver areas. The main color for our silver is going to be Lead Belcher. Again, we're mixing this with just a little bit of Lamy and Medium to make sure that it applies very smooth onto the model. And I'm going to paint this Lead Belcher onto all of the areas that we want to have that silver or gray metallic. So the chain on the flail, the cross-hatched grip on the staff, the main pipes of these smokestacks, as well as almost all of the engine compartment on the backpack. I'm also going to pick out any large rivets or spikes or anything that hasn't been painted already with our copper color but is a metallic. After we've finished with the Lead Belcher, the next thing we want to do is start highlighting our copper metallics. We're going to do that using Brass Scorpion. And I want to paint this color over almost all of my Warplock Bronze color. I'm going to be covering about 80% of the metallic that I already painted on there. And I want to apply this in slow controlled layers, building up the color slowly so that it's brighter in all the areas where the sun would be hitting the mini. I'm also painting this color with a little bit of Warplock Bronze on my palette, so that if I ever feel like there's an area where the line between the two colors is too stark, I can use a little bit of Warplock Bronze, mix it into my paint, and blend the transition so it has a more smooth gradient. When I paint the face mask area, I want to make sure that I concentrate the color towards the center of the face mask so that the eye is drawn towards that middle area. With the fingers on the gloves, I want to make sure that I paint the top of each of the fingers, and I want to leave that darker Warplock Bronze color in the shadows so that each of the fingers has a lot of contrast between the individual digits and they all stand out from each other. The head of the flail is the largest metallic area on the mini. It's going to take me several layers until I build up a level of this color that I'm happy with. I'm going to try and paint it on the large areas between each of the spikes, as well as around the lip of each of the spikes, while still leaving a little bit of the darker metallic color to make a small outline around each of the circles. The next color we're going to use is going to be Gehenna's Gold. With our previous color, the Brass Scorpion, we were applying that to most of the metallic areas. This Gehenna's Gold color is going to be applied mostly as a highlight. We're going to use it to pick out all the bright details that we want to stand out more, and areas that are going to be in the most light, like the top of the flail head, the top of all of the round staff areas, the top of the 2 caps on the smokestack. We want to dot all of the rivets and areas like that that we want to just be a little bit brighter. Once we finish with that Gehenna's Gold, we want to add a final gold highlight using Auric Armour Gold. This is our brightest gold color, so we want to apply this as a line highlight to accentuate a few of our metallic areas, like the face mask. We want to paint right underneath each of the eye sockets and in a line down that middle section. The top of all of the rivets. We want to outline the hard lines on the top of the smokestacks. We're basically using this to add a final level of brightness to all of the areas that we just painted with the Gehenna's Gold. We're just being more selective and picking smaller areas to paint so that we concentrate our highlight and make it shine in a few areas. After we finish with our Auric Armour Gold, we're going to add a shade to deepen the shadows and help blend the metallic colors together a little bit. We're going to use Auric's Shade, and we just want to use a little bit of this shade to outline all of our gold metallic areas. We're going to apply it the consistency it is out of the pot. However, we want to make sure that it doesn't go on too thick anywhere. So we're applying a little bit and then we're moving it around with our brush so that we can make sure that we get a thin, even coat in all of the areas that we want to have outlined. After we finish with the Auric's Shade, we want to apply some Nuln Oil on all of our silver areas. We're going to apply this shade a little bit more thickly than we did with the Auric's Shade. We're basically going to be putting it over all of our silver areas. Just because the lead belcher is such a bright silver itself, that I feel like a lot of the shadows get lost when we apply that color on there. So applying this Nuln Oil over all of our silver is really going to deepen the shadows, especially in the areas like the back of the smokestacks. That engine compartment has a lot of different lines and elements that have gotten a little bit lost. So this Nuln Oil is going to help those details stand out from each other. The last step is to highlight our silver areas. We're going to go all the way up to Runefang Steel instead of blending it through lead belcher, just because I really want a sharp line between the shine on the silver metallics. So I'm going to use this Runefang Steel color. Again, it's mixed with a little bit of Lamian Medium, and I'm just going to apply it as a line highlight on the top of all of my silver metallics. I don't need to use a lot of this color. I just want to add one final shine to areas like the top of the spikes. I want to outline all of these areas on the backpack. I want to outline the top of all of the links in this chain on the flail, and anywhere else to make each of the silver elements stand out from each other. Alright, and with that last little bit of Runefang Steel highlight, the metallics on this Kreoss Mini are complete. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see more how-to videos, I have another one where I'm going to do a fiery glow on the smokestacks and the eyes of this Mini, as well as the Menoth symbols on the shoulder pads, in the MiniWarGaming Vault, and the link down below in the description. If you don't already have a Vault membership, you can go ahead and click the link, sign up for a 7-day free trial, and get access to my video as well as hundreds of other videos in the MiniWarGaming Vault. So go ahead, click the link, start your free trial, and happy wargaming!